going to ask you what you think this line would be. Giants at Carolina. I lean towards the home team, Carolina, here. That's going to be my free pick. But Ace, here's the key question to me in this game is if the Giants hadn't beaten the Cowboys at the end of last year in a game they could have easily lost, and they didn't make the playoffs in this hypothetical, what would the line be? How much differently do you think the Giants are being power ranked right now because of what they did in the playoffs last year?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think this line would be too much different. At the most, maybe they'd open Carolina a 1-point favorite, but the money would come in on the Giants, taking them to where they are right now, simply because of the fact that they've started this season sluggish. I mean, they lost their first game at home to the Cowboys. Cowboys didn't look too great last week in Seattle. And then last week, if you look at the final score, although the box score doesn't reflect the final score, if you simply look at the final score, a team like Tampa Bay, who's not the best in the league, went in there and pretty much almost beat them.
No, you make a good point. Is early in the season, it's very important to think about how the teams that the team you're handicapping played. So in this case, the Giants have played the Cowboys and the Bucks. Is how good do they look compared to the other games they've played? So let's say the Cowboys would have went into Seattle and blown Seattle out. Tough home field in Seattle too. Now you would have said, man, the Cowboys are good. You know, it's not surprising maybe they beat the Giants in New York, but now the Cowboys going and lay an egg against Seattle, it makes that Giants loss look even worse. So, no, I agree with that 100%. I tend to disagree with you. I think the entire Giants power ranking is being affected, you know, in a significant way by the fact that they won the Super Bowl last year. I mean, this is the defending Super Bowl champions, and they were one play away from not making the playoffs.
Agreed.
Now, they did do what they did, so you can't totally disregard it. But, man, if you look at this, I mean, they really were out of it against the Bucks. I mean, they could have easily started 0-2, and with Tampa Bay beating them in New York and down, you know, 0-2 at home.
Yeah.
So, to me, now here's the catch-22, though. This is a great road team. It's the only thing that's causing this to be an opinion rather than, you know, a pizza money bet, as I say, rather than a big bet. And I've got the stat right here. In Coach Coughlin's career in New York, 46 winners, 25 losers against the spread on the road. 46-25 if you're playing blind. But here's the thing. I think the market has caught up to that. I think you notice.
Everyone says they're a great road team.
Yeah, you know, I think it's to the point the trends somewhat, if not totally, being accounted for now.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. The reason I lean the other way, I lean the Giants, is because what I saw with that Tampa Bay game. I watched that game based on the fact I had the Giants in a teaser, and I felt like they could have won that game anytime they wanted to.
Whoa.
Listen.
So anytime they want.
Anytime they wanted to, because that's exactly what they did. They let Tampa Bay get a 2-touchdown lead, 17-point lead. It didn't matter. They knew Eli Manning was going to throw for 500 yards. They were
let me ask you a question.
What do you
Cantor Racing Sportsbooks, good friend of pregame.com. They do a great job here in Nevada. They've got their in-game betting.
For sure.
And so do other places. But Cantor, you can play it every play. I don't know exactly what it was, but what do you think the in-game betting was when the Bucks were up 14?
No, I agree.
So if they could, you should have been killing.
I would have been all over it. But no.
They were big dogs at that point.
True. I agree. But what I'm trying to say is, I think.
In fact, I think, and sorry to interrupt. I'm going to let you make your point. But I think the emotion you're showing is, they can do it anytime, is what's keeping their power ranking. Why they're so overrated. It's like, they can turn it on and off. Really? I don't know any NFL team that can turn it on and off.
But here's why I believe they think this. Because here's a team that turned it on down the stretch last year. got to the playoffs, swept through the playoffs, and ended up beating pretty much the best team in all football in the final game. So coming into this season, I expected lackluster performances early on.
Why is it changing this
Because here's exactly why. If you listen to what Justin Tuck said after the game, this was their wake-up call. They were unfocused against Dallas. They were unmotivated against Tampa Bay. And when Eli threw 3 interceptions and they found themselves in that spot you touched on, ready to be down 0-2 at home to start the season, here's a team that realized, you know what? We may not get that chance to turn it on overnight like we did last year. And he said, it reminded me of our college days. I said, fellas, this is the kind of game we all have wanted to play in our lives. We got to take this win and move on with it. Like, we got to keep winning. Like, this was our wake-up call. And I think if this team goes into Carolina, whose defense is porous, the 5th most yards allowed last year in all the NFL, and last week they allowed almost 500 to New Orleans, I don't see how they're going to stop this Giants offense.
All right, we've talked it through. Let's make it official. Okay, I got to be honest with you. I listen when Vegas Runner talks. I'm still going to keep the slightest of opinions on Carolina. I do think the Giants are overrated, but I got to tell you, he made some good points. So it's going from pizza money to taco money. All right. Good stuff. See, I like it. I can never get Marco to change his mind. No matter, I can make points so great, he never changes his mind.
I changed my mind last week. I took the Green Bay Packers. Remember that? You made a lot of excellent points.
How much did you make?
I had them. That was my 3-star that night.
So you should be buying the tacos.
Yeah, I fired on the Green Bay Packers. You made a lot of sense.
All right, guys, remember, you can get all of our videos. We're doing college, pro, the Wednesday game, Thursday game, Friday game, the Monday game, really all the key games. You can get them all pregame.tv.